Breaking news coming in the last couple of minutes, and that is that there are tentative plans for CM Punk to return to AEW. There are meetings planned with the likes of CM Punk and Chris Jericho. CM Punk is also pushing for meetings with the Elite. There's rumors and discussions about possible a soft talent split, a soft brand split, if you will, in All Elite Wrestling. Plus, a return date has been possibly scheduled, that being June 21st, when AEW returns to Chicago. All this and more in this developing breaking news story. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of All Elite Wrestling. And we spoke earlier on that Dave Meltzer had said today on Wrestling Observer Radio that it looks like CM Punk is going to be returning to All Elite Wrestling. Well, we now have plenty more details. It's a developing story breaking in the last couple of minutes or so. And that is, and it's being reported by Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, that CM Punk's return is tentatively planned by AEW as of right now. There are tentative plans in place for the former two-time AEW World Champion CM Punk to indeed return to All Elite Wrestling. Now, according to Sean Ross Sapp, CM Punk has expressed his willingness to return to AEW, and it seems like the pieces are indeed being put into place for the return to the company to happen. Now, it must be stressed, and certainly Sean Ross Sapp and Fightful Select are stressing this with this report. They will preface and follow this with the disclaimer that nothing as of right now is set in stone. These are plans that certainly are tentative, and things can change, especially with this situation and the fallout from Brawlout. It's a very tumultuous situation, and it's an ongoing and developing situation with CM Punk, his relationship with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, the locker room's reaction to this, Chris Jericho, John Moxley, etc. So this is still very tentative and still very fragile at the moment, but these are the tentative plans in place as of right now. Now, according to this report, Fightful Select had been getting hints after April 12's report that CM Punk wanted to come back to AEW, that the wheels were already in motion for a return to take place. Fightful were told shortly before the announcement of Chicago at Wintrust Arena that the June 21st episode of AEW Dynamite would be interesting, and that certainly was a date to look out for. We did talk about this earlier today, didn't we? That date is the final Dynamite and the final Rampage taping prior to the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, which of course is taking place in Canada, but it's the first time that AEW has ran a Chicago show since Thanksgiving, and certainly it's very significant because they didn't really want to run Chicago shows whilst the CM Punk stuff has been going on. But a lot of people said, hey, that's very interesting because that's before All In London at Wembley Stadium. That's before All Out, possibly at the United Center. And of course, it's before Forbidden Door as well. So according to Fightful Select, they were told by their AEW sources that the June 21st episode of AEW Dynamite in Chicago at Wintrust Arena would be very interesting and something to look out for, and a date to look out for. What Fightful have learned since then is, as of April 13, Thursday, April 13, 2022, that being 2023 rather, that being today, the working plan has been for CM Punk to return at that show, or at the very least around that show, so maybe the week prior, but it would make sense that certainly he will be in Chicago for June 21st. That could be the date, that could be the episode of Dynamite that CM Punk makes his long anticipated and awaited return to All Elite Wrestling. There were also pictures of announcing it well ahead of time, even around the Warner Upfront. So of course, last time when CM Punk made his debut for All Elite Wrestling at the first dance at the United Center in Chicago on Rampage back in 2021, nothing was announced. It was just a rumor. They sold out the arena based on a rumor. The question now is, are they going to do that again, or are they going to announce it ahead of time to sell out the arena, the Wintrust Arena, and also do big ratings, very big ratings for AEW Dynamite on TBS? Of course, the ratings kind of dipping slightly as well in recent months, so certainly announcing it ahead of time would be very beneficial for AEW and for Warner Bros. Discovery as well. Now, those that Fightful have spoken to confirmed that CM Punk has been hoping to work with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, but they have heard of no contact between the two sides as of right now. The last that Fightful heard, the Elite were not keen on the possibility of working with CM Punk. AEW sources indicated that Punk had been trying to push for a meeting between everyone for quite a while, but they haven't heard if any progress on that had been made. So according to this report, according to the sources that Fightful Select, Sean Ross Sapp are citing, CM Punk does want a meeting with the Young Bucks. He does want a meeting with Kenny Omega. He wants a meeting with everyone involved. I don't know if that's Hangman Page. I don't know if that's Colt Cabana. I'm just trying to read out what the report is suggesting here. But CM Punk wants a meeting, and they don't know as of right now if that meeting has taken place. Last that they had heard, the Elite were not receptive to it, but that could change. According to the report, it's worth noting that the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega are in the middle of negotiating new contracts with AEW, and of course, that might play a part in all of this, but again, there had been reports that those contract negotiations and discussions were going well, but that could be an issue, of course, whilst they're in the middle of these contract negotiations, if CM Punk does indeed come back, and they don't want him to come back. Now, CM Punk has issues with quite a lot of people in AEW, it must be said as well. He has issues with Jon Moxley. He has issues, notably, publicly, with Chris Jericho. How is he going to resolve those issues? Well, Fightful have been told there was also a meeting planned between CM Punk and Chris Jericho, who have had numerous issues in the past, to see if the two working together is a possibility. Jericho's a businessman. CM Punk's a businessman. They have legitimate beef. They have legitimate issues, but they're certainly open to making money together. They're certainly open to working together, getting ratings, and helping AEW grow. So there is a meeting planned between CM Punk and Chris Jericho to see if they would be open to working with each other in the future. Of course, Chris Jericho previously had kind of gone on record, at least to those that he had suggested to backstage in AEW, that he would refuse to work with CM Punk, and if CM Punk came back, he would refuse to be in AEW. But there is a meeting planned between the two to see if they can resolve their issues. Now, according to this report from Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, there's been a lot more traction within Warner Bros. Discovery about an impending announcement of a primetime Saturday show being designed for a bit of a soft roster split to accommodate the preferences of talent who want to stay separate of the particular situations. Talent that Fightful have spoken to have heard the discussions about a new show, but haven't heard about Punk's possible impending return. So that's quite interesting as well. Not only is this Saturday show going to be a primetime show, but in addition to that, it could serve as somewhat of a brand extension within AEW, certainly a soft one, where certain talent primarily appears on AEW Dynamite, and other talent primarily appears on this primetime Saturday show. AEW Collision is something that has been thrown around for a name, but that could be the show that CM Punk's on, and then you could have the Elite on Wednesday Night Dynamite. But again, talent haven't heard about that being a solution to Punk's possible impending return to All Elite Wrestling. As with anything, things can change, but specifically in this situation that has been brewing for the better part of a year thus far, none of this has been set in stone as best as Fightful can tell. As I mentioned, as I stressed earlier, these plans are tentative at the very best. Last time there was an agreement in principle for CM Punk to return, he posted that Instagram story and everything kind of went up in smoke. But as of right now, just to reiterate once again, this is the latest reporting from Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful Select, and that is that big event, that June 21st episode of AEW Dynamite in Chicago at the Wintrust Arena, the go-home episode of AEW Dynamite before Forbidden Door, that could indeed be the date that CM Punk returns to All Elite Wrestling. Tentative plans have been put in place. Meetings are scheduled between Punk and Jericho. Punk wants meetings with the Elite as well to see if they can work with each other. The Elite, they're a bit on the fence about it. So, big breaking story. I'm sure this is going to develop and more is going to come out of this. So, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and I'll speak for you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.